Okay guys, welcome back to the Forensics Unplugged channel. We're just continuing from the last live behind the scenes video for the guys really into it that might like this kind of raw thing, you know, this terrible editing, raw thoughts thing, a bit like the main channel. Sorry. 5 products here going on to this test panel. Wax Planet Shell Shock, Armour, Amplify, Scholl SW30, Scholl Neo Polymer Shield or something, whatever it's called. What's it called? Polymer Protection. And then Sonex BSD, which gives me, it's like a control really for me because I know what it's going to give me. So I'm just going to separate. I've cut my panel in the other video with H8 on a blue wall pad to give me a low level of finish so I can see the improvements we talked about before a little bit better. Just going to separate this off now. We'll avoid. So this is something I was saying to the Fresh Layers guys the other day. We were doing testing. And Mike kept touching the panels. It was freaking me out. You've got to try and avoid touching the panels when you're doing this. Especially before you've done the slickness and gloss testing, because your fingerprints can throw the readings massively. And they affect water behaviour and all that sort of thing. So you want to avoid touching it. You do. I touch it as well sometimes, a little back of the hand thing. But anyway, when I do the back of the hand thing, I always tend to go down into the little corners. I've got all these habits I've formed from doing this for years. And there's a reason for everything. There's a reason. So we're going to look at all these little steps we go to avoid things going wrong. Aren't we good here? Oh, sorry, you probably can't see what I'm doing. So yeah, we just use those so that we're not using like an applicator jammed with old wax or something that can mess it all up. It's all clean. Got clean microfiber towels in there. So every time you do tests, you just got to be a little bit organised, haven't you? So let's also get organised here. And just write down our product names as well. So we're Doug. Let's go over here. That. And it. I'll get this out. Get that out of your mouth. Armour detail, or whatever it's called. Armour detailing. Scholl, so we'll go SW30 Neo Protection Shield or whatever it's called, and Sonex BSD, the old bead magnet or whatever you want to call it. Someone said in the comments something was interesting, that this was backed. It was a paraffin wax emulsion, which would be interesting, which would be bad in some way, but it does feel like a paraffin wax emulsion, but it's not just a paraffin wax emulsion. If it is a paraffin wax emulsion, it's still got something in it, a very hydrophobic material. But there's something that resonated with me, because there's a slight, from playing around with that particular material with waxes, it can leave a slight whiteness to the finish. But I didn't know it was used in emulsions. If it was, that could be a load of old nonsense. You never know. You never know. But yeah. So let's get going. So what we'll do is just have a look at the instructions as well. We'll fix this camera here so I can actually do this without cursing, because it's really frustrating trying to do all this with a camera. Righty ho, let's blow my nose as well. Hay fever's kicking in. Don't touch the panel. So let's have a look at the instructions of this. 4-month sealant, can be used wet, but you spray on, you buff it. Yeah, that's it. Do not allow it to dry. So what we'll do is soak out these so that these pads are all saturated. That'll be our only criteria. Really shake this as well. So we get a good film of the product over there. And then we wipe it to a shine. So here we go. Yeah. There we go. So we've got a good amount of the product on here. What does it smell like? Unscented. Okay. So yeah. So God, it's just like applying water, really is. So we've got yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We've panel wiped this. So this product doesn't like to wet the surface out. Really is not wetting the surface well. So you can see it kind of, you know, it has high tension to the surface. So ideally, so you're getting all that, whereas you want a film, you know, it's a film forming product, but it's just got that high surface tension. It's lacking a bit of bling, this product, for me. I know I always complain about, you know, I don't like seamy stuff with scents and stuff, but it's just lacking a little bit. Although it does look quite nice in the bottle with the little subtle amount of dye in it. I don't know though, it just feels like it's lacking a bit of bling. So let's get a clean cloth. It just says to spray on and wipe, which is what we're going to do. It's not drying, but okay, yeah, it's leaving something on the panel. Interesting. Wow. Wow. Let's just give that another buff. So I just want to show you. It's left some sort of hazy residue on the panel. Is that, yeah. Oh God, that needs really heavy buffing. Yeah, that's a bit disappointing. God. So that could be that we've put on loads. So we'll have to be really careful with that. But it should be resistant to that. I'm going to just buff this vigorously now. Hold on a second. Yeah, it needs a really heavy buff. Oh, blimey. Okay. Yeah, that could be a problem. So if you are using this, it's more likely to be a little mist on the panel, buff it very quickly. But there we formed a thick film of it. Well, not that thick. We formed a film of it, you know, gave it, what, 30 seconds and then buffed it. But the film that was formed was thick and it was hard to buff. So yeah. That can bode well later on in terms of durability, but it doesn't bode well in terms of application. You might have to be a bit more careful. So we're learning stuff. Right, this I'm expecting to be very easy to buff because I've already played around with this. It's more of a detail spray. It smells amazing. It smells like lime. You know, you can sniff that all day. It's really zingy, but the scent isn't part of. It's just an observation. Yeah, it's quite a nice bottle, greeny kind of liquid. Let's just go over this. Yeah, again, it's coming off the surface a little bit, which is interesting. Not quite as bad as the Wax Planet. Right. We'll fold this now. We'll use a different side. Yeah, we can get away with that. Or should we be more? Should we get another towel? No, we'll be all right. We'll use a couple of towels, but we can. That's a double fold, so we're using two other sides. So there's no way we've got any material there. Yeah, I mean that's so much easier to buff. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a detail spray. Lovely. And then once you've buffed it, whatever is left, you just see it vape out and melt off the panel. That's lovely to use. Yeah, which is what you'd expect from a detail spray. Right. let's put that cloth to one side. We'll get a fresh one now. So let's go on to SW30. I don't know much about this product. I mean, it's got this annoying, I hate these things. But yeah, it doesn't really give you much info on how long it lasts. Just says long lasting. I'll probably have to go onto their website and poke around and try and see if, what does a long lasting sealed surface mean? Because if you tell me how long you think it lasts compared to your other products, I know if it's a better choice to use as a baseline sealant. Because if this says, well, it lasts 6 months and they tell me the W6 lasts 3 months, I'm like, well, I might as well use this. Water-based, quicker, but it just doesn't tell you. I think it'll be like a 2 to 3 month type product. That's just a complete guess. It's more like a spray wax. Eliminates light dirt, dust, fingerprints in seconds and leaves a long-lasting shine. So it's more like a detail spray, really. Does not contain hydrocarbon yet. Polymer technology, it fills the paint surfaces and forms a highly resistant protective film, shielding your car from the elements for weeks. Oh, there we go, for weeks. So that's interesting. So it's more a detail spray, really. Speed wax. S30 speed wax, the science of glass. Okay, fair enough. I quite like the Scholl packaging, even with the bubbles. I have to try and work those bubbles out. Right, let's soak this out. So it's quite a lot of product, like all the others. That's saturated. This I've used. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. It's not. So it's a lower kind of thing. So it's forming the film rather than wetting the surface out, rather than beading out, and standing up more. So it went on a bit nicer. Right, let's get our microfiber towel and let's buff that. Yeah, so good. Yeah, it's really good. There it goes. Yeah, it's lovely. I've used this on black paint and it just melts off the paint. Yeah, lovely. A little bit slower vape than that, which I'm surprised because it vaped really quick. But that's quite a lot of materials, so yeah. No, that's fine. So we've used the wax is dead side there. SW30. I'm interested to see tomorrow what all the beading is like and all that sort of stuff. And I'm interested as well to see durability because I find that all interesting. Stop using the word interesting. Polymer net shield. So this is like a spray sealant rather than the spray wax. So let's have a look. Providing extremely wide range of applications. Outstanding protection against elements, a natural finish, long-lasting finish for glass, chrome, rubber, unpainted plastics. It's a bit like a speed wax as well, though, which is where there's a bit of a crossover. Free of hydrocarbon. Doesn't tell you how long it lasts. So I'm going to go instruction hunting. There it is. Quick fix. Spray on, wipe it off. So that's glass, that's paint, smooth surfaces, open poured surfaces, spray on and leave it. So it's basically spray and wipe with no dwell time. It doesn't tell you how long it lasts on here. I like just brands to give me a little bit of a pointer, like I've just said. Just give me something. Give me something I can hold. Oh, it's got a seal on it. With that something, I will grow. Ooh, it's got that salt and vinegar thing going on. Yeah. So again, this has an extremely low surface tension, even much better than any of the others. Like that films, that's got really low surface tension. The rest of them, the amount of water in them you can really see, whereas that is a rich, fishy siloxane blend. That is different to all the others. So we used that side last time, we'll use this side this time, and we'll buff that now like it says on the instructions. Wow, yeah, okay. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's a proper sealant, that is. Yeah, much thicker, much more like, it's more similar to the Wax Planet Shell Shock, a proper sealant. You can see, like up here, a little bit streaking from where it's really rich, and I've used so much for one little tiny section. You can see me having to chase it out. So on a car panel, it'll be a lot easier. On these little test panels where you've used a lot, it does highlight the problems. It's not, the buff was much better than, or lighter than the Wax Planet one though, which was really really heavy buff. So both those sides are done. So we'll flip there. We've got a new side for the BSD. In fact, I'll just use another one of these sides just to get that finish good. But it's not a hard buff, but in terms of the residue, it's not hard to remove, but you're chasing it a little bit more. So let's just make sure, right, that now is my final side. So I'll use that for the BSD, and then we're done. Right, we know all about the BSD. This is an old bottle, cheap product, rubbish spray trigger, and it look, you see the old, yeah, it doesn't fan out very well, that trigger. A lot of people swap the triggers around. So we've got masses of product there, like all the others. We'll form the film. Yeah, again, it's a lot of slime, that is. Again, it's like bogey. Yeah, again, it's got the higher surface tension because of the water in it. You can notice that. But it's a detailer, effectively, that's extremely beady. I mean, I don't like this Sonex BSD. It's a very popular product. Because if you put it on your car is just like so beady, and people notice that, and I like that as well. I do, but I don't like applying it. I find it a bit snotty. So we can buff that immediately. Yeah, it's hazing down into the panel a little bit. Oh yeah, the buff is grippy, isn't it? Notice that straight away. It's almost like a sealant. Yeah, but it's still not like the Wax Planet, where even though it's grippy buff, it does buff off okay, you know. So there we go. So I'll just make some notes. Actually, I should do it on a bit of paper, really, shouldn't I? Here's my notebook here now. Yeah. Go through these. Oh, I've got loads on that one. Loads in that one. Right. I'll go to the back so it's easier to find. So spray, seal, plus QD. What's the date? April 24. So we have, what have we got here, guys? Oh, God, I can't even think what the product is. My brain is not working today. Wax Planet, Wax P. Oh, Jesus. It's going to be hard. Armour Supply. SW30. Neo thing. And BSD. So we'll put the cost up there. We'll do our costings along there. Application. This is really not, I don't think I'm going to cross compare all these products, but this will just give me, so I don't forget. That application is by far the worst. By far the worst. there. So the film is thick, so I'm expecting the durability to be good. Then it's obviously that. Then it would be the BSD, and then it would be the SW30, and then it would be the armour. Flashing faster, really thin. That's nice as well. Both those are lovely, both of those, lovely. I just need to make some notes. Stiff, thick film. Thick film. That was some heavy duty buffing. It is different, like I say, when you're saturating that with quite a lot of product, letting it stiffen up. When you just sort of spritz it on the car and spread it and buff it, it's a different kettle of fish, but it highlights the difference, as you know. So, yeah, so that is a bit smeary, fishy, yeah, vinegary. It's that vinegary smell. I've smelt that before with siloxane. BSD, sticky. Amazing. But you could give those both 5 if you wanted. Very good, very good. Just trying to think if there's any notes. No. Smooth. Okay. So yeah, we'll look at costs per use as well, which always highlights stuff. The Wax Planet and the Neo are very rich and concentrated products. The other ones, yeah, the Amplify, the SW30 and the Amplify SW30 and the BSD, if you looked at the formulation of those, there'd probably be at least 80% water. Don't quote me on that, it's just my opinion. Most detail sprays are at least 80% water, some of them 90% water, some of them even more. So you can always do the little hack of taking a water-based product like that, taking like 10 mil of it, filling it up with water and using it as a detail spray. It's a great hack, it sometimes works. Or you can just buy a detail spray. Ironically, there'll be very little difference in price between these products because chemical cost isn't that significant. It really isn't. Like siloxanes are not massively expensive. They're engineered material. They're not expensive. There's no expensive components in any of these. It is purely to make the industry profitable and survivable. You can't say the contents of these detail sprays would be like 10 to 20p, if that. Yeah, the bottle and the label and the triggers will be like over £1, maybe like £2. So the bottle and the label cost significantly more. That bottle there then, with all its product in it and labels, might be worth £2. So they're selling it for £15. Well, you know, the distributor, the national distributor's got to make their money. The local distributors have got to make their money. Scholl have got to make their money. So there needs to be 3 or 4 quid in it a product each unit sold for every person, or it's not worth doing it. There's no business, and the business can't function if you're selling these for £2 or £3. They won't exist. So you careful what you wish for. You know, I've said that before. There has to be a business in there, but on the flip side, that's out of scope, really, isn't it, for the channel? We're there to recommend you the stuff that offers you performance with value, and value is part of that performance criteria. So there you go, guys. This panel is now prepped. I'll take this off. That will leave a horrible little tape along in there, but that's fine. We'll leave that there, don't touch it. And we'll let these cure off overnight for the rest of the day. We'll do some testing on them tomorrow. And then once I've done that, I will then just use them and gather footage of using them, although I've used the Amplify and the SW, I'll have to do some footage of shell shock. Maybe the best way to do it is a comparison of shell shock with the Neo Polymer. I think I'll probably do that actually, and use the results here to compare them, see which one I think is the best. I don't think I'll compare these two. I'm not sure if they're the same. But anyway, thanks for watching this unplugged thing, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.